good.
All right. I'm here today with Amba, AlianaHi, who is the presenter at our Gaian Congress. And we're so excited because I just came across you. It was in October when you did an interview with Marguerite Rigoglioso, who has been a presenter at past Congresses. Um, and I was immediately drawn. I think I just felt such a strong new earth energy from you
Mm.
that, yes, there was just this immediate pull of like, oh, we need some of that at the Gaian Congress.
Oh, amazing.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah.
I
And
feel so grateful.
all right, yeah. So it feels like a happy meeting. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. A reunion of family, I feel, is
yeah,
happening in many ways.
yes, for sure. Yes, and our family is growing too, I think. Or maybe we're becoming more aware of each other.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
the
Yeah.
the weaving of us all together is starting to take place.
Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. So normally in these interviews, I ask for sort of an origin story, how you got pulled into this, but I know because I saw that interview with Marguerite, I feel like you covered that so
Hmm.
beautifully and in depth there. I
Mhm.
didn't want to repeat that, but I do want to just give people the two things that I got from that came out for me were that you had two near-death experiences and two different avalanches,
Mhm.
which is amazing to me that, well, that, yeah, that those are so real and so visceral.
Mhm.
Um, that's one of my little research hobbies is reading about people's near-death experiences and how you get shown such deeper truths than we can really access when we are fully
Mhm.
conscious. So I wanted to mention that. And then the other thing that really jumped out at me, you said, I think it was at the second one, you were told that there is this Lemurian aspect of your soul that wanted to be integrated. And so
Mhm.
you tried to do that. And then at one point you said, you know what, I can't handle this. I have to let it go. And you let it go. But then a while later, during a ceremony, you were told that, oh, it happened.
Mhm.
And I love moments like that when I don't know, because there is only so much trying we can do. And when you try and you let it go, and then it just seems like when spirit comes in and takes over, that just feels like a very powerful sort of affirmation for me.
Yeah, a lot of surrendering and
Yeah.
dissolving, it's like coming into the realization that actually that's how Mother Earth is. She's constantly rebirthing and recreating and dropping her leaves and then, rebirthing again. So I think nature has a big part for me in the way that I surrendered into that.
Oh, great. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's helpful perspective. And
Hmm.
so speaking of that, so the Fairy Congress, we really um we're very diverse in our community because we recognize that there's so many different ways to approach this um sort of paradigm of working with nature, co-creation. Um, so for myself, I mainly seem to work on the Davic realm and
Hmm.
sort of larger energies. But I've been feeling lately that particular plants are starting to sort of tap on my shoulder and say, maybe it's time to get more focused that way. And so I'm curious if you could just speak, I know it's a big topic, but just briefly about how your journey with particular plants have kind of
Yes, absolutely.
led
I'd
you.
love to share. Thank you. I'm so excited for that little sparkle that's happening with plants for you. So I just have to say this is my little kitty Theo, and he is very persistent on saying hello. He is my Lyrian guardian.
Right.
Um, so with the plants, my goodness, so they have been the pivotal teachers of my journey. And after my near-death experiences, one of the way that I was able to reintegrate myself back into the physical vessel was by going into the forest. And because I was so open, when I went, all of the trees started talking to me, and all the flowers that I would go down to see, they started sharing their energy with me, and I could feel their vibrations. And they began to really heal me. When you go through a near-death experience, for myself, I was able to see things that I wasn't prepared to see, light and dark. And within myself, oh, sorry, I gotta fix this, within myself and within the world. And so nature brought me into her womb and started sharing with me about her children, which are her plants, her doctors, and the healers. And for me, it was not, I'm not trained as an herbalist. My foundation has been more in energy medicine, working with the physical body and learning the energetics and vibrational frequencies of things. And so that's the way that they started communicating with me. And they, began to call me deeply after my second avalanche, to go down to Mexico. And so I had these series of dreams where I had these shamans come to me in Mexico. And so that was basically my deciding factor. Spirit said, you can either go this way on this path with snowboarding, or you can really step into your calling. And this is what's being asked of you. And so I did. And 5 days later, I was down on the plane in Mexico. And yeah, I found my way to this magical garden in Palenque, Mexico. And it was a sacred, a garden of master teachers plants, which I had never worked with before. I'd never known anything about this type of work, and actually shamanism in general. And when I got there, the property guy, he said, would you like to stay for 3 months and care for our garden?
Wow.
And I was like, oh my goodness, I guess I'm really supposed to be here. And so I did. And it turned out it was an grandmother ayahuasca farm.
Uh-huh.
And it was a garden of peace. And so this master teacher, she began to communicate with me directly through her spirit. I had never taken her medicine, and I didn't for quite some time. And I was learning directly from, her physical structure and her spirit. She started singing her icaros and teaching me her songs. And it just kind of unfolded from there with the plants and them teaching me. Before I worked with Pam Montgomery and Jen Frey, the plants had already been really coming through my consciousness for quite some time. So the way that they taught me is when I would open up my healing space, and I would call in the doctors and the healers of Mother Gaia, it would be the plants, and they would come through the vibrational field of my field and my hands to begin to weave their medicine into people to heal them. So that's my past with the plants, and it's ever deepening. And I'm so grateful for all the teachers that I've had to share that wisdom with me, because it's been many different lineages of wisdom keepers. And I've seen magnificent healings, even on myself. Like, they've been my saviors at navigating this multidimensional reality, and working specifically with the planetary grids, and learning how to heal the earth through working with plants, and the spirits of their energies. And the trees just really have called to me. They're the ones who are wanting me to share the pathways of the temples of the trees, which are these multidimensional spaces that are within the trees, that are, like star gateways and into the multidimensional realities of Mother Gaia. So, and I'm ever learning, I'm a student, I'm a little seed myself, learning about all of these magical beings and magical worlds. So I'm so grateful to be here with you all and share what I've learned, and also to learn from you.
Yeah. Well, then speaking of trees, because your workshop at the Gaian Congress will be on the tree grid. Can you give us just a little taste of what
Sure.
we'll cover?
Yeah. So let's see. The planetary tree grid is, it was a seed that grandfather Ginkgo planted in me in this co-creative relationship, doing sacred ceremonies with him. And I do them quite often at my place of work. I share healing at a healing center here in Massachusetts, and there's this ginkgo tree there that is very ancient. And so he showed with me this planetary tree grid of these grid. It's interlinked to a grid that has been forming for quite some time, with Dom and Hers
Mhm.
and the tree orientation.
Mhm.
But what seems to be happening is grandfather ginkgo, there's a whole story, and I'll go into it in the conference, but grandfather ginkgo basically is the one who wants to open up the tree temples and open up this grid of connection within the already awakened grid to reestablish the multidimensional connections between the environments, and also be a space for the kindred ones to come and learn and exchange knowledge and wisdom within these temples.
Mm.
So that's the planetary tree grid, and it works. We're working with ancient trees from all across the world. So we just finished, we did our first ginkgo tree, and then we did Mama Baobab tree,
Wow.
which was incredible, just magic, in that place, a deep rebirthing of our starlight. And we just worked with the eucalyptus tree in Australia,
Mhm.
learning about its sacred temple and energy. And so it's starting, it's just awakening. And our next tree ceremony is the redwood coming up in
Uh-huh. Oh,
February.
beautiful. Beautiful.
So
Yeah. Those are powerful for sure.
I think in the workshop, what we're going to be doing is going back to the original tree and seeing and asking the mother tree of Lemuria, um, to gift us a specific tree to carry with us, a seed that she wants to gift us. So we'll kind of learn about, a specific tree that is connected to us from ancient times, and be able to really, bring in that tree elder, that wise one, to assist you on your journey.
Oh, great. Oh, beautiful. Well, I'm really looking forward to that. And I also want to mention, just briefly, so the Congress, for those that don't know, it's a journey. It's not just a bunch of workshops. So the first circle time, we will all do a meditation where we will meet an ally, sort of a partner delegate for the weekend. And then our Saturday morning circle, we're going to have another meditation to deepen that connection. And Amba will be doing a light language activation to help us with that deepening and connection. So I'm really looking forward to that. Um,
Me
and
too.
and just that whole, I love it. I mean, this is really why we do this, is because that joy of connecting and co-creating, and it's so fun to do it in a group and talk about it with people. that
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So,
What comes through, it's like a whole weaving of,
yes.
yeah, weaving melodies and wisdom through time
Yeah.
and space.
Yeah. And then it's like, in the weaving, things grow and expand because they bounce off each other. And it's like, you just.
Got chills feeling that. I love
All right.
that.
Great. Well, thank you so much. I'm
Amazing.
gonna
You're
stop
so
recording.
welcome. Thank
Yeah.
you. And I so look forward to being with you all soon.
Yes, we do too. All right. Thanks so much.